The Shard is one of the most iconic buildings on the London skyline, and even though it's so easily recognisable, there's more than meets the eye with the Shard. In this video, we'll be telling you more about the architect and the history of the building, as well as 5 key stats about the property. Then we'll be checking out the building amenities and the local neighbourhood before showing you some of the finished offices in this impressive mixed-use building. You're watching Workplace. This is the Shard. Before we get too much into what the building is today, we have to go back a bit to understand the vision for this building and how it came to be. The project begins way back in November 1998, when developer and joint owner of the Shard, Irving Seller, acquired Southwark Towers, which at the time were occupied by PwC. Fast forward to 2000, and the ambitious plans to build an architecturally significant structure begins. The Shard would merge retail, commercial, hospitality and residential spaces into one building and become a true landmark of London. To facilitate such an impressive building, Italian architect Renzo Piano was instructed to design a vertical city and bring the vision to life. Famed for his creation at the Pompidou Centre in Paris, this was another striking glass building that was perfectly aligned with Renzo Piano's craft. Once construction approval was granted in 2003, the developers at Seller Property Group had the plans in place to begin work on the Shard in association with the London Bridge Quarter Limited. However, before any construction started on this glass giant, the existing site had to be cleared, and that meant the demolition of the Southwark Towers. Demolition was completed in 2009, a year after the demo works began, and in March 2009, construction work on the Shard commenced. But it wasn't all plain sailing. Despite the impressive glass facade, the sheer amount of glass used on the tower presented challenges during construction. If you've ever stopped and looked at the Shard, you'll notice how the building seems to be shimmering, and this has not happened by mistake. The glass panes were cut in the Netherlands and installed in a particular order to create the illusion of movement and shimmering, intentionally catching the light to make the property shine on the London skyline. However, with enough glass on the Shard to cover 8 football pitches, there had to be a consideration for one potentially significant issue: the temperature. With the towering structure being covered in glass, the Shard would become a giant greenhouse in no time. To overcome this, special triple glazed windows with motorised blinds activated by sunlight had to be installed. Construction was carried out over the next few years and was completed in July 2012, just in time for the London Olympics. At the time, the Shard officially became the tallest building in Europe, measuring over 1,000 foot high. It was crowned with a steel frame pinnacle clad with shards of glass designed to blend into the sky. It stands next to London Bridge Station, one of London's busiest transport hubs in the heart of Southwark. The mixed-use development has 25 floors of office space, 7 award-winning bars and restaurants, a 17-storey hotel, 13 floors of apartments and a triple-height public viewing gallery. Plus, for those brave enough to venture up to level 72, there is a near open-air viewing floor with unrivaled views across the capital, which we'll talk more about later. Now, with a building of this magnitude, there is no shortage of cool and interesting facts. As with every property we talk about, these stats will give you an overview of the property and give you a little bit of an insight into the core facts that you need to know. Height. The Shard is the tallest building in London and the 47th tallest building in the world. It is a 95-storey building, with level 72 being the highest habitable floor. Square foot. When it comes to the usable floor space of the Shard, it clocks in at over 1.3 million square foot. This is made up of office space, restaurants and apartments, and the higher floors are smaller than the lower floors. This is uncommon in commercial properties, but it lends itself to create an eye-catching building design. Cost. As you'd expect, a building of this stature isn't cheap. The reported contract cost of the Shard was £435 million, which at the time made it one of the most expensive buildings in London. Accreditations. One of the standout accreditations that the Shard has received is WiredScore Platinum. This accreditation recognises exceptional technology infrastructure, and a platinum rating is the highest rating possible. Finally, the length of wiring used in the building spans over 200 miles, which, if you laid it all out in a straight line, would stretch between London and Paris. Building amenities. A building like the Shard comes with a whole host of amenities. From a retail arcade to a hotel, there is something for everyone here. Making the most of the tallest building in London, the Shard's viewing platform on the 68th, 69th and 72nd floors offers London's best and highest view across the capital. With 360-degree views, you can see for 40 miles in all directions. You also have the choice of multiple bars and restaurants inside the building, which makes the Shard a true destination. Options include Aqua Shard, Bar 31, Gong, Hutong, Oblix, Sky Lounge and Ting for a variety of different specialities and tastes. The famous Shangri-La Hotel is also located inside the Shard, and the rooms are dripping in luxurious fixtures and finishes. The floor-to-ceiling windows offer amazing views from each of the 202 rooms and suites, and the comfy beds and marble-clad bathrooms ensure guests have a relaxing and comfortable stay. Finally, there is also a dedicated shopping arcade called the Shard Quarter, which runs alongside London Bridge Station. The Shard Retail Arcade is the main shopping destination and boasts a mix of independent retailers and globally recognised brands. So, what's it like to work in the Shard? Well, as one of the most iconic buildings in London, in one of the prime locations, it's a highly sought after address which has been home to businesses like Kraft Heinz, Al Jazeera Media Network, Jellyfish and Mighty. The neighbourhood. If you're looking to work here, here's some of the stuff that will really make a difference to your staff on a more practical basis. Travel connections. London Bridge is one of the best connected stations in London, and with access to excellent national rail connections as well as the Jubilee and Northern lines, it makes the Shard a superb destination for your office. Coffee shops. There is no shortage of great coffee in London Bridge, so if you're looking for an energy boost on your way to the office, there are plenty of places to choose from. Roasting Plant Coffee on Borough High Street comes highly recommended, as does the more famous Monmouth Coffee, which you'll find on Park Street alongside Borough Market. Food. When it comes to food, you won't have to look too far when searching for breakfast, lunch or dinner. Grind is a popular destination and only a short walk from the Shard. With great coffee, fresh juice and a large breakfast menu, Grind is a great place for quick bites and client meetings. Right next to the Shard you have Borough Market, which has just about every dish and speciality cuisine imaginable. Head to the market for freshly made lunches from hot food stalls and food vans. And for dinner, if you aren't going to head up to Hutong on level 33, there is a great mix of restaurants from Italian places like Legare to Spanish spots like Pizarro, and of course more traditional dining at spots like Hawksmoor in Borough. London Bridge is one of the prime office destinations, with lots of fabulous bars and restaurants, as well as being close to Tower Bridge and being a short walk into the city. The Shard is a great place to have an office. If you're looking to take space in the Shard, then make sure you stay up to date with availability as it can fluctuate quickly. The average cost per square foot of office space in London Bridge is £97.50, which is a helpful benchmark to consider when looking at office space in the Shard. The actual cost per square foot is available on application, and it's also important to be aware that there is a service charge and business rates which will be applicable on top of your rent. It's important to know all of these applicable costs that are linked to your office space before you make any decisions. The Shard stands out as one of the main landmarks on the London skyline, and the building offering is extremely impressive. Looking back at the story of how the Shard was first constructed, as well as learning some of the facts about its construction, shows just how much work went into making it into a reality. The building itself offers a huge range of amenities, and the surrounding area also offers a real pull factor, showing how Borough, Southwark and London Bridge are all great places to work. The views from the Shard are some of the best in London, and for that reason alone, it's easy to see why businesses would want to work here. We hope you enjoyed our video on the Shard. Make sure to like and subscribe to Workplace for more office videos as we take you behind the scenes of the best buildings and interiors in the UK. Thanks for watching Workplace, and we'll see you in the next one.